Oh, welcome back. We are finishing the Ivan Ooze inverted coaster today. String the server up. Alright. Alright. Go over here. And a couple days ago we did the full layout. A lot of trial and error to get the positive G's under 10 to make it rideable. Uh, Took probably a good 3 hours or so. But I like the way it turned out. Alright, now we're going to start the theming and finish the station, so... Oh, yeah, just 1 second. There we go. Alright, so we got our first layer down, and now we're gonna do second layer. I put a couple scenery pieces that I might use over on the side here so that I can just kind of use the eyedropper and grab what I need. So I think we'll build up the go maybe again as high as these are in the front, and then on the back end we're going to build that up quite a bit higher. So let's get that in place like that. There you go. I can't beat that. Okay. Let's see. I do want to add a couple of these fun little swirling spiral things, maybe like right here next to the very start of the coaster before the lift hill. I kind of like that. I'll do the same on the other side, because why not? Why not be symmetrical? Now, one spot's not quite lining up. Let's see. There we go. That looks better now that little line is gone. So, okay. Almost looks like a cake. And I think we'll go back to the kind of white or light blue or whatever this is. That. All the way around. Okay. Now we're going to put some kind of roof over this part, and we will end up making the actual entrance and exit here. We'll turn that invisible. Next, yeah, go Alt tab and just look at the roof pieces and see what we got. I'm gonna change the colors right away. then as we scroll through, we can kind of see, which pieces you can actually change the colors and what might work as a roof. Dark Age Village roof. That kind of looks cool in the pink color. Ba, 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 ba. What is that? Thatch? Probably not. Corrugated roof shallow. Let's throw that down, see what that looks like. Let's see if we rotate it. Yeah, it looks okay. Let's continue the gradual upward slant there. And is there a more, like, not gradual, not shallow? I mean, piece might work, but it's technically marble instead of whatever the other thing is. Let's see. Nah, I don't think so. We can find something better. This might match. Yeah, it looks a lot better. And some kind of a flat version. No, that's the same slant. There probably is not a flat version of that, is there? I'll have to find another flat piece that I can color. Corrugated steel base. Let's try that. I mean, that's not too bad. Like right under, so it looks kind of like it's propping up the slant a little bit. But see how it looks actually directly next to it. I'm gonna turn because I don't think. Yep, perspective was wrong, so that's not even where I thought we were putting it. Let's see. So that one, tile next to it, like that. All right, different idea. We need a bit more elevation, I think. So let's use more of this purple kind of steel scaffolding support thing. Build another layer. Like that. And then let's try that roof piece again. Yeah, maybe all the way up here. Let's put a few down and we'll rotate and see how that looks. Let's see how it looks if I sink it a little bit. That. let's see. Another, we got a taller one here. I'm gonna try that. That might be kind of cool, and then we can put kind of whatever our custom sign for it, maybe across here in front of the scaffolding stuff. Okay, all right. I'm gonna start building up the other side, probably with just more of this. And we're actually gonna do see-through rides because it's a little hard to see. Well, my bad. Uh, we need that tile in between. Oops. Let's grab that tile. All right. Yeah, curious if I can put like this brick tunnel thing together and if that would look cool or how much room that actually takes up. Let's see. So it would assembled look like that. And not really, because it would be off center with the station and the track being stretched across two tiles. It'd be good for an archway for a double path, though, but um, not for what we need. This way. All right. Keep those pieces? I don't know. Let's do another like slant on top of here. And then probably not make it any taller because the station is already pretty big, but trying to diversify my builds and not, like not take on something that might be too hard of a project to start, but build on what I know and not do the same thing. Try to just slowly work on more complex stuff. Let's see, how's that look? I don't know what I'm gonna do in these little gaps though. I might keep them. I might put something there. Let's see how a wall up there is gonna look. Okay. Grab this piece again. Get these all the way across. Alright. And then now we're even with that wall. I don't want to do just two straight wall pieces. I kind of want to do not necessarily this like trim, but something kind of fun here. So, but I gotta be careful how I stack it because I still want to be even with whatever the height, the end of the slant is. So, ooh, I'll put that piece down for later. Now, what other pieces could be nice? I kinda... What is this? What is this? It's kind of a cool corner piece there. Let's see, how does that look? A little weird and out of place. Maybe I can actually take this stuff and kind of tuck it, and maybe that'll be what can fill that gap. I gotta see if it looks dumb. It kind of looks dumb. I'm not gonna do that. Alright, let's go back to like our fencing and such. Alright, I'm not sure what these pieces are doing here, but it looks like they don't belong. Okay, they're gone. Canceling things. Oh, decisions. What are we gonna put in? I'm just gonna go through some of these scenery sets and see if there's anything that just quickly pops out as fitting to what we're doing here. I mean, having some like gears and stuff wouldn't be a bad idea to kind of turn the ooze. Oh, how would a gear look under there? And what if it had a twin? I kind of like that. I think I'm gonna put some on the other side in the same spot. I should actually see what. Oh, this is gonna be tricky. Alright, see if I can get the exact height of that. Okay. And then doing it kind of blind because I can't. Or maybe I can rotate by hitting enter without having to use the cursor. Nope, you can't because I'm holding control. Alright, and did that place properly? Yeah, looks good. Ooh, gears under the roof. I like that. And we'll match up with that, make sure we got the exact same height. And do we want to be facing a different way though? Probably. Alright, does that look like it's inside or does that look like it's just floating randomly? Okay, because that one looks like it's inside the roof. I kind of like it on the outside better. And having them above the spiral things looks like they're actually maybe causing that and that they have a purpose. So, okay, what do I want to do? I want to change this one so it actually looks like it's on the outside, which means I want to rotate to like that. Oh, okay. Shift go up. That still looks like it's on the inside. Maybe I did that wrong. Let's see how that looks. Otherwise, we'll tuck it inside if it doesn't look right. Okay. Compared to that one. No, they look about the same. It's fine. Okay. Have a gear next to it, but just slightly higher. All right, I'll definitely want to cover up this because I don't know if I'm gonna go all the way through with like making it look like it's connected to I can maybe see if there's a horizontal like track support. What is this? This is technically a wooden pole. Um, yeah, I mean that doesn't really have the effect. I don't think you can decipher that as being part of the gear. Let's explore a couple more options. Let's see. These supports. That one that goes down like that. That could actually. That, like that. Alright, that kind of looks like potentially partially connected. Maybe try lining it up from this side instead, because I don't think it's looks right over there. How about that? Let's... So what is the difference between these two? So that's that, and that is just kind of a different angle on the top part, huh? Okay. Okay, right there. So get and actually, and like there. And the rest, I mean, that other side will be covered up by the wall, so it won't actually show. All right, now let's do one behind here, like that. All right. Second roof. Up, 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 up. All right, let's. Yeah, I don't feel like making it too complex and um, potentially having it look a little weird being out of theme. So, kind of take back what I said and gonna actually continue with this piece here. Cool. And then let's go back to this set and see. I mean, maybe these kind of open windows on top. And what is this? Window overlay. Okay, that I don't understand how that one would be used properly, but I guess we should probably see how much actual space we have in there too. Ah, there's the spiral without the wall piece attached to it. It's interesting. This looks kind of cool. The Oh, it's the Lord of the Rings set. So when this game first came out, Lord of the Rings would have been a new movie. Um, Came out in 2002. Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 came out in 1999, which I think is when the year Fellowship of the Ring came out. But maybe it's actually later. Maybe it's like 2001 to 2003 or the I don't know. I don't know exactly when those movies came out, but now it's a cool piece, but it's a little too I don't know. Doesn't Doesn't look good with too much stuff behind it. So we're gonna find something else. Glass wall. Let's explore this option. We'll make the glass kind of that white color. I kind of like. You can do the glass as clear, but I like this is with the glass technically tinted white, and I think I like that better than the glass actually being on clear. And I don't want to see that stuff though, so maybe not the glass. Let's see. Let's just see how it... Okay, and then we still have a little gap we gotta fill, which would be fine because we could do a little trim piece on top of it. Do I like that? Do I not? Yeah, I don't think I do. And the reason why is that... Wow, that sounded a really Midwestern-y accent there. The reason why is that at the top of the windows you see the edges, and at the bottom there's no edge to the window, so it looks like the straight pane of glass is touching the other white bluish trim. And if I go through with that, it's going to bother me, and I'll never be happy with it. So, and none of those glass pieces actually have a bottom to them. That's kind of stupid. Oh, let's see. I did see my other idea. Alright, I guess I gotta go back to this scenery set. It is nice that when you do the eyedropper onto the thing, it does bring you to the category that the piece is from, because to be honest with you, the scenery manager, if you want to call it, whatever this... It's terrible. So most of the time I just like type in kind of the piece I'm looking for and hope that the game actually, yeah, I like that, calls it that, you know. And what is this? A little pink wall. A little pink wall. Is that the same piece as this? Yes. And there is a quarter one, so we can fill in the same blue. Okay. Back wall almost seems a little plain, though. I don't really want to take up more room, though, and go on. So I think it's okay. You know, if I ever come up with an idea to jazz it up a little bit, I can always do that. I guess another idea is maybe using the shallow slanted roof we had here and just make a bit, maybe a 2-tile extension of like an awning, and then just build a support for it that leads up from the ground. If that, I mean, if it looks stupid, then no. But if it looks good, then yeah. Alright, let's just, alright, it's kind of funny because it just completely covers up the trim I put in, but that's okay. Alright, so custom supports is something I don't have a great deal of experience with, especially since most of them are like slanted and weird, so I gotta see if I can actually find something that, I mean, what's probably most realistic wouldn't be supports coming all the way from the ground to hold up an awning or a roof type thing. But more supports that just go on this corner and hold it up from that part of the rest of the building. So, yeah. Uh, do, 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 do. I don't even know. That piece is probably like massively too big in the wrong direction. Bring it up. Showing. Not too bad. At least from this angle. Let's see from other angles. Yeah, it looks okay. It's okay. Alright. Build the same up here, which would be... Does it actually go that far down? Or okay, what direction is... Oh, yeah, yep, just move it over. That'll work perfectly, okay. So... I'll be right there. Okay, that's cool. Oh, okay, now we got a nice looking station. Yeah, look at all these random pieces that just, you think you're looking at something the right way and it lines up, and then you get done building something and you realize you got pieces floating and then pieces missing from the other building. So we don't need these ones down here because delete those. Okay. I might actually play with like, no, that looks, maybe adding extra supports to the just the straight middle ones that the game makes. Just in certain areas, like maybe supporting the turns or something like that. We'll see. I do want to do a catwalk, um, which on inverted has to be, fairly low because they're riding under the track and not above it. But all right, let's work on the sign next, I think. No, actually, I want people to start enjoying this. So what I'm gonna do is build the entrance and exit, and we'll make the. Oh yeah, I already kind of forgot I did that last time I pre-housed them. So all we actually have to do is extend them out and connect them. Connect them to the path, to the main path. Which I'm thinking... I'm going to kind of connect it around this ride, the tower ride I built. Kind of like go around the edge of the building, up around the woods, get to go onto the coaster track a little bit, and then meet up. But then I think I'm also going to build another path going this way that just hops a little bridge over, connects to the main path, so that people can find it, get through easier. Because right now they have to, come from here, there, and now this is getting back to the middle, so... Okay. Think about... Oh, I should probably... Just thinking about how it, like, what piece to come through that it's gonna get rid of. Probably, like, right through that one, I think. Oh, let's see through our scenery. Okay. Connect. I gotta actually delete it myself, huh? Okay. There we go. Oh, and I wonder if there's a pink arch or something we can put in there and just fill that little bit of top of it. Otherwise, a little bit of that 1/4 inch trim, and we can just color that pink. Let's see. Let's see. Let's go. And here, and then we once again have to actually. Funny, because a lot of times the path will just like auto delete whatever is in front of it, but not this time. Alright, so I'm actually gonna start by building the path up over this way. See that nice little gap. There's that tree. Here. And like this. And delete. Connect. Okay. We got our entrance and exit. And then we're gonna take another journey. Way over this way. Oh, okay. Let's see. Do a bend somewhere, because I want to be even with the middle of that. So involve like that, huh? Does that make a little crossing, or what? I mean, we're not going to do that. Absolutely do a bridge over instead. Make it 3 high, and 3 down. Put one next to it. That. Alright, and we'll, whoops. There we go. Alright, and let's open the ride. And now I think it's probably time to delete the construction fence. The bulldozer. Goodbye. Let's go. Path. Okay. Well, I did this in a better order this time, because last time I kind of had my trees and other scenery up, and then when I went to delete the fence, I accidentally deleted a bunch of stuff, so to delete the construction fence before you do the rest of the scenery. Because, yeah, I know this bulldozer will just gobble up everything it touches. It's hungry. Alright, cool. You know what? Why not a path around as well? Let's go do level, and then we'll connect back over here. And then pretty good. All right. I don't think I'm gonna go as tree heavy as I did with the other two coasters here, but I do want to add some elevation and slight hills in, so let's do that next. Yeah, really trying not to have it affect the path. There we go. There's all different ways to kind of terraform hills and stuff like that. This is definitely one of the lazier ways. Um, a lot of people, and to make really nice looking mountains and cliffs and stuff, they'll actually do one tile at a time and slowly do it, but no, no, okay. I gotta be careful the parts where the coaster's super low here, so I don't want to. I think some of these low parts will actually do a little bit of a valley. Oh, yeah, let's here. Let's do a little bit of hill here. Okay. Let's look at. This feels like it's standing like so tall above nothing, so I'm gonna put a good sized hill here and just. Okay, that's probably fine. Yeah, a little bit on the outside perimeter, up a little bit more here. Yeah, kind of make it like this helix isn't a bit of a rut. Let's see. Here, we're gonna go pulling up one instead of pulling up four at a time. Yeah, sure. I'll do it one kind of. All right, now I'm thinking of actually kind of doing a blend of what this guy put in for trees with what's in for the wooden coaster here. And yeah, I totally abandoned building the sign and started building landscaping and trees, so we'll do that first and then go back to the making the sign. Yeah, how this middle strip here, I'm trying to have at least some bit of a blend between the two different tree arrangements. So I think we're going to try to do the same thing, but in this gap instead, you know. Alright, so let's start by just grabbing a couple of these random things and sprinkling some of those in. And I don't know, I might get like 20 minutes into this and decide I look stupid and delete the whole thing, but there's a lot of that in this game. At least the way I play. I play off the cuff. I'm kind of keeping these little things kind of next to these for the most part. Because he has them like really close together, so I'm going to put them kind of somewhat fitting. Did you... Alright. Alright. Oh, let's put these on all of our other ones. Yeah, some with two, some with one. You get one, you get two, you get one, you get two, you get one, two, you get two, you get two. Okay. And then we'll bring some pines over. Maybe we'll start with these like extra big ones and kind of put those down first. So they take up so much room. I think I'd like to plan where those go more than randomly drop them. And not a lot of these, you know, they're going to be fairly well spaced out. And unlike the other tree types, because I think this is actually just a modified, different form of scenery. You know, if it's not fully supported, it's going to make scaffolding. And scaffolding under a tree looks absolutely stupid, so we're not going to entertain that. But anywhere that we have the 4 grid, we can put it, so... Partially why I use the 4 tile at a time landscaping, because I wanted to get a couple of these. Yeah, look at that. Look how dumb that looks. A couple of these big ones that require the 4 space tile to go in. And, you know, not there, because, yeah, they're going to be knocking their feet on it. Angle on that one. So here I like that, but I have the issue with the scaffolding, so I'm gonna just bring that corner of the tile down one, and then now we're firmly on the ground. So I gotta make sure I'm not actually. I don't think that lines up above it, but I gotta check. No, yeah, you see, perspective, they're actually very far away pieces, but if we go back to that part there, it almost looks like they're close together, but not at all. Yeah, one more in the middle of helix. Okay. So we good for those. Let's take a couple of these tall pines. This view. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Oh, sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. And be careful not to put too much right in front of the station, because we're going to make that big sign on the side of the front, and I don't want it blocked by trees. One of those, I don't know if that's going to look okay. I mean, I guess it's fine because they're not on the inside, they're on the outside, so okay, a couple more along here. Few over in here. Here. One more up here. Okay. And let's grab our next variety. Do this one. I'm going too fast for the game. Okay. Slow it down. Oh, was that too close to the other one? Probably. Ba, 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 ba. I love planting trees. Alright, are people, there's people milling around. Are they riding yet? There are 18 people on the ride. Do they have any thoughts? They can't find it. Okay, that's... Okay. And back to trees. There's probably a much better, even more thought out way to sprinkle the... Oh, whoops. Oh well. Replace that. I do want that there. Okay. Yeah, there's probably better formulas or ways to do trees. I don't... Also, we're going to move this path and not have a... I didn't even notice that before. I got path with coaster supports right in the middle of the path, and that's... I don't like it. So we'll redo that in just a few minutes here, and then we'll just do sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Tree, 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 tree. Okay, no tree used. All right, so kind of. Do you have any other trees I want to mix in? Try to bring the neighborhood theming together. Yeah, these guys might look nice. Let's see. Yeah, sure. Let's do a couple of these. This might be a little too diverse. I think I got like 6 different kinds of trees here, but... Oh, I should be careful doing it from this far zoomed out. Whatever, when we're done putting these down, we'll do a little tour, and anything like clipping through a ride or supports, we'll just take those trees out individually. So again, probably not the proper way. The proper way is probably to have a bit more planning and foresight on what you're going to do, but it's not the way I play. Okay. And yeah, not so many of those. Way too many of those. It'll be kind of fun. Let's how about putting some water in? Actually, I don't know if it's in on the server, but I'm pretty sure there's alternate water that you can color. White water? Maybe for like rapids or what? Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, that looks kind of cool. We do that in the with the violet that the supports are in. All right. And what is that that is different? And that is regular weird water. Okay. Um. Yeah. And what's it called? Water quarter tile. Is there water full tile? Guide water. How big is that? Tiny. They're all gonna be quarter size tiles, aren't they? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I think it's gonna be a little tedious, but basically I'm gonna take this kind of valley where the first drop is, and put in what's gonna be the ooze. And I gotta think about how I'm gonna do that. If I want to lay it straight down, if I want to have it up a little bit. That looks dumb. I mean, right on the ground, maybe? Maybe they'll just have to be like pools. Let's see. To that. Okay, so that'd be that entire plane. Let's. I'm just seeing how it looks if I do it that way. Because I do want it to look like it's not just like painted on the ground. So yeah, let's get rid of um, all of these, and we'll do the. All right, crazy idea, just so it doesn't look hollow. What does it look like? That's great. The water beneath is just completely taking the purple color perfectly. Okay. Um, cool. Let's do a giant uh, patch and raise up all the spots we want to have water and kind of. Oh my god, that was devastating. Okay, too much. Like that. Except, now let's go like remove. Okay, bring that back down. Bring that back down. And we're gonna bring the land up, and that'll be our ooze pool, and maybe we'll do another ooze pool somewhere else. Oh man, I do not remember too much about Ivan Ooze. I did see the movie in the theater in 1995. Um, I was very excited. I was a huge Power Rangers fan for the first, I don't know, 2, 3 seasons before, you know, they started going in space and changed all the actors that they never paid properly and stuff like that. So yeah, they ended up making billions on that franchise. And if you look up what the original cast of uh, teenagers that filmed the non combat suit stuff, because all the actual combat and wearing the suits and stuff was taken from a different show, and they just wrote American plot and had anyway. Saban, I think, is the company. Barely paid him at all. Like they made no money on what ended up being, multi-billion-dollar franchise, basically. Okay. All right, this is gonna be tedious because I don't think there's any way to do it more than individually, but I do think it'll be worth it. Is that slanted? Yeah, anywhere there's a slant. Uh, One thing that's kind of hard to see is the grid that it brings up is kind of the same color as the water, so. Um, I know, we'll put these here for now, and then, best diagonal. Oh, there is a water diagonal. Alright, let's put one of these right here, and then, cool. Oh, great. Okay. Uh, let's do that everywhere, then. Yeah. Fuck that tree. Get out of here. Let's do that on all our diagonal. Meaning, let's make sure I'm at the right increment. And then maybe another one. Yeah, I'm just talking to somebody on the server. The chat is hidden behind where you see me right now, so uh, you can't see what I'm saying, yeah. All right, back to the tedious. If you're a fan of like hearing things, tedious things explained in a game like this, you would probably enjoy watching this stream in the future. Because there's a lot of like slow, tedious. I know some people like that kind of thing, just like a lot of people like power wash games, and there's a lot of kind of light sim games where it's, just kind of given a repetitive task and you keep doing it and you make it look nice. And we're doing a bit of a form of that right now. Click, 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 click. Okay. And we'll figure out some kind of railing or fence just to protect any of the wandering guests from, falling into the ooze. Alright, I hope this isn't. I mean, that's not going to be too. No, that looks fine, okay. I was just a little worried that I don't want to see their feet dragging across the ooze. I mean, one fun thing we could do, because I still might add a. Oh, wait, we got to go in with the corner tiles there. Right. Did I leave a corner tile out so I can just select it when I need it? Okay, we'll put one right. No, that's a full tile. Corner, just a corner. Alright, whatever. Is that right? That's right, okay. We'll put one of these back on this little hill right here so we can just grab it when we need it. Okay, so what direction? Direction. There we go. And another one down there. More oops. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have to fix this from multiple angles. Actually, I think we'll use some of the pieces we used in the station to make the border for the ooze pool. Okay, get our quarter tile. And yeah, another fun thing I was thinking of doing, because there's the waterfall uh, water pieces that you can color as well. Maybe at one of these break runs or something, build a little housing around it, and then, you know, maybe the guests have to travel through a little bit of the ooze, get a little ooze on themselves. Okay, and those will all be. I gotta delete these because I think these are actually gonna change to quarter tiles because they're not right. Yep, we're gonna modify anything that isn't completely squared off like that. So I mean, these will all. No, those are actually fine, and let's. Okay, back on track. Okay. Uh, cover up some more ooze. That. And like that. And why is that not? Okay, there we go. Like, something's not right. Alright, now we got more. Perspective and get all these spots we couldn't see. So that would be one. That would be one. And that one we need a corner tile on. Zoom way in because it's kind of hard to see. Let's see. What about this guy here? Alright, I accidentally doubled up there. So I think the spots that are looking a little bit darker like that are just doubled up. Which, if we want the ooze pool to look deeper, we could do that in the middle and kind of create it artificially. But for right now, we'll just get rid of these. Be gone with ye. Alright. That's some good ooze. Let's get rid of the other ones up here. That, and get the proper pieces in. Square, which is, that's totally not the right one. Glass base. Okay, that's not even water. It's glass. I don't know what the difference between guide water and water is, but I'm sure one of the experts knows. Oh, you can't actually put one. Other way, tree. Why can't I put one there? There we go. Okay. Alright, getting there, getting there. Now we got a bad spot there, don't we? Okay. Yeah, let's raise the land up instead of fixing it. Okay, does that look like... Oh, no. Oh, the spot. Right there. Okay. And I'll check all our angles here and delete more of these accidental levels. Here's another one. Alright, we're gonna pull up the land a little bit here. Not too high, because that helix is right there, but do kind of want to raise land above the ooze pool. But yeah, in the movie, I think he makes a bunch of ooze that oozes up the city or something. I don't really remember. It would have been 31 years ago, so. And I did only see it that one time. It's definitely something where the movie came out probably right as I was basically losing my interest in it. Um, all right, let's see about getting that quarter high tile and this little white. Use that as a border for the use. We can't diagonal it though, so I don't know how I'm gonna do some of this honestly. Yeah, I don't think any of these are diagonal. Regular fencing can be diagonal, right? I'm just gonna double check that. No, it hugs to the elevation changes in the terrain, but it absolutely does not go diagonal, so maybe we won't actually have any kind of fence around the ooze. Still looks cool. Though now that I got the ooze, I think I'm gonna put more ooze around the station. And if there's a way I can have it look like it's coming out of part of it, that might be pretty cool. And it looks like that is actually some kind of ooze factory. I'm gonna set a live streaming record for the amount of times it's saying ooze within a certain period of time, I think. Okay, what is next? What is next? What is next? Yeah, let's get rid of the path that's directly under the coaster supports. So anywhere that happens, we're gonna change it. I mean, the guests probably won't like it. But that's okay. Okay, is there actually a way over? What is the way over? You know what I mean? Maybe I'll just have to live with supports um, on the path. But I don't want to. So, alright. Okay, that's one workaround. I think that looks okay. Alright, let's just start at one angle inside and kind of slowly go and see where we have supports standing in the middle of the path. So we got supports in the middle of the path there. And that's going to be hard to get around because if we put it here, we just have more. actually, let's see. I'm going to turn clearance checks off for a second and see if that will instead make the support. No, it doesn't make a difference, so we'll turn it back on real quickly because maybe one of the other players had it on. Which there are 3 other people playing right now. One other person with access, one that is a staff member involved with maintaining and running the server and granting permissions, and then somebody with free-for-all access. Which is better than spectator, but there's a lot of things you can't do with just basic free-for-all. That person left, yeah. Maybe they didn't feel they could do enough or something. But yeah, it's kind of a cool culture. You know, come in, and I play on a couple different servers, but this is a main one I play on the most, and you know, talk to the people running it, chat with them, and you know, build something nice with the permissions you're given, and then usually they'll grant you more as you get trust, but the problem with it is that people very much come in, lie, get access, delete, change rides, sabotage parks. With such a small number of people that actually play online, usually I'm like one of 15 to 20 people on all the servers that are playing, so it's a very small community, and you run into the same people kind of over and over again, and it's kind of fun is that a lot of them are, you know, around the same age. 30s, you know, maybe some early 40s, a lot of people that played when the game originally came out 24 years ago. Like me. And then I found some YouTubers, started watching some videos and was, hey, maybe I'll play again, and then started by just revisiting the scenarios actually and played through all the scenarios of Roller Coaster Tycoon 1. And then discovered the online, and now I'm kind of like addicted to it again. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to worry as much about routing it around the supports, because it's going to get kind of wacky, so. Let's go right through. Guests can walk around it. If I come up with an idea later to kind of fix that, I will, but for now, I think that's fine. Alright, cool. Now let's figure out... Let me make the ride invisible for a minute. Now I'm wishing I didn't put any trees in this area, because I kind of want to put a bunch of ooze in. So, let's delete all these wonderful trees and put in another ooze pool. And yeah, that one type of tree we have to delete a different way because it's the added piece, and the game doesn't understand it's a tree, so it doesn't have the same tree properties, unfortunately. Fix our accidental path deletion. You know, I could make a secondary, kind of like Ooze factory here, and I could have it coming out of there. Or I could still try to have the Ooze at the station, which I'm gonna test something out real quick here, because I kind of got kind of a fun idea. Alright, let's type in water to get our water tiles, and we're gonna change our water to violet, which is the official color of Ooze. Alright, so that is waterfall with background, how is that going to look compared to the regular waterfall? Okay, with background means what? Is that the white? Oh, okay. Um, and then before we actually put one in, let's play around with the other waterfall. Can we stack those? Yeah, they don't really show up though. To make the ooze kind of look like it's, I don't know, thicker. I think I will do the one with the background versus the see-through one. And then I was thinking of actually putting ooze running down these scaffolding things. So let's see if we can do that. All right, we'll just put it down in this strip and then do the old does it look stupid? Figure that out before we do the rest of them. I do kind of like it. I think it's good. But where can we put more ooze? Let's not worry about that yet. Instead, let's lower a bunch of land so we can make our ooze pool. For that, I think I'm actually going to go as far as where the path is. Keep it square and do railings. Delete, delete, delete. But, you know, we're going to have to go quarter tile at a time and draw all the ooze in, so... let's see, what time is it? I started at 7:30. It's almost 9 o'clock. Perfect. Say maybe... I want a nice deep ooze pool. There we go. Actually, maybe just only... on the side with the station, we'll put a slant in. And I don't think there's like slanted water. Or how to do that. Because it would be really cool if I could have like ooze coming out of the building somehow and looking like it's actually filling. It's going to be our ooze reservoir, we'll call it. Alright, there's that. Yep, the stupid. So, goodbye, tree. Yeah. Do I like... Let's make it even with both sides. Okay, maybe like that. And let's put our regular water in that we're just going to draw on top of. And that was... What is that going to be? 12 by 12? Alright, that's kind of confusing. I bet you it's a few short, isn't it? Yep, it is. Okay, so let's try 14 by 14. Okay, that's what we wanted. And yeah, we'll do, we'll keep that little gap, but we're actually going to do, because I don't want it going straight into dirt. We'll change the color under all these border grass tiles to that. That'll be perfect. Oh, that looks weird, you know, just like raised dirt. Alright, and then I do want to think about taking some of these pieces and figuring out where I want to build another little structure. I mean, honestly, somewhere over here would be kind of cool. Let's see, how much room do we have? How about maybe this little brake run here hidden in a building, and on the side of it over the water, we'll do an ooze waterfall so it looks like the building it goes through is responsible for why. Because this ooze is wild. That's wild ooze. This is controlled ooze. That's wild ooze. So we want it to look like it was some kind of accident from another building that is housing ooze. And honestly, I don't have much experience with using a lot of curved and corner pieces versus just taking straight pieces and making corners out of them. But there are some cylindrical ones, and if there's any way I can make it look like it's some sort of like a water tower type thing that, you know, maybe bursts in a spot, and that's where the spilt ooze is coming from, that would be pretty cool. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, maybe there's a way we can trick it and just make it look like ooze is running out of the bottom of the station. Because if we could do that, that would be pretty cool. Oh, my car's green. I don't know if I want that green car. Alright, let's go back to our ooze and do that for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to take a short little break. And keep oozing. Ooh, okay. So that's kind of bubbly ooze. That could definitely come in handy. There's actually a lot more waterfall tiles and options than I realized here. Let's see, how does that look like it's going to come out there? I mean, can we thicken that up, or... No, you can put as many as you want there, and it's not... And of course, it deletes the wall behind it, not the thing I'm actually clicking on. See, this is... You know, that would piss me off when I was 13, and then pisses me off at 38. You get some flashbacks to, you know, parts of the game. Things he did 20-something years ago, and it still makes you mad, still kind of broken. Alright, let's just borrow our ooze and put a little ooze here. Just that we can grab from, kind of like what we did before. Okay. Ooze. And let's just start way in the corner here, and let's see. See actually how it looks up raised one. Yeah, kind of weird because it's kind of translucent, so. But right on the water looks great. Just gotta be careful not to accidentally double them up. Okay. See, that's like accidental double click there. I should probably go slower and a little more carefully, but. I like to live fast and dangerous, loose and wild with my ooze. And maybe in the main reservoir, I'll actually intentionally double up and make it look a little deeper in certain spots. But maybe just like right in the exact very middle. Just do a couple tiles like that. Oh, gee, and there's that whole part of water we couldn't even see before, so. Oh, let's get it from a different angle and see if we can fix that. Yep, that's easy. Okay. Just gotta from here. Let's do see-through rides while we're doing this. Oh, and that's all scenery because that's the extra support. So, but then we can't see the ooze, so that's not gonna work. I think we're just gonna have to kind of squint and get these in here. Trust the grid. Trust the grid. Ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Boop. I like to get this done before I take the break, so it's after 9. We'll wait a few more minutes. If you're watching this live or you're watching it later, I don't think really anyone's watching it live yet. I've only been doing this a couple days, so still working on gathering a following, but I'm getting some views after it's posted, so if you're one of the people watching after, uh, thank you. Enjoy. Go back and check out the previous 2 or 3 build videos. That's all invisible, so it's not good, but all this other stuff except for the big cross coaster up there, I put that down before I decided to start live streaming this game, so I can't really show you how that was built. But the rest of the stuff, you can go back and watch those videos if you want. I'm very much still learning all the streaming stuff as I go. So there are things I'm discovering every time I do it, like I think soon I'm gonna try going into the video actually putting like chapters so that if you want to scroll through you can see, scroll to this much and the coaster's done and then we move on to this scenery piece, or what exactly the flow is to make it easier, because I know clicking on a 3.5, 4 hour video, no one's gonna watch all of it. Most of the people are gonna just kind of, oh, there he is building the ride. Okay, skip ahead 45 minutes. Okay, it's done. Skip ahead. Oh, scenery's done. Just kind of digest it by jumping around, basically. But I'd like to make that easier by figuring out how to put the chapters in and stuff like that. I haven't done video editing, God, since around the time I used to play this, I guess. Maybe early 2000s, somewhere there. So I'm gonna figure out some kind of free video editing software, and then I'm gonna chop up these lives and just have a video that's maybe 20 minutes, a half hour, shorter, longer, depending, and then just this is building that ride, this is doing that thing, this is and those videos will probably do a little better than the live streams do, but for right now I'm just getting used to basically talking out loud while I play this instead of sitting very quietly. that I normally do. Alright, we're getting near our middle ooze. Delete data, those are high, I don't like those. I feel like I might accidentally have a layer that's even with the path and not sunken because I'm not seeing that wall the same way on that side. So I might have put some of this stuff in at the wrong height. Hopefully not. Alright, no dark spots. No dark spots, please. Oh, okay. Alright, that's the problem, is that the grid makes it look like there's still... Okay. There we go. Now I can see what's actually ooze and what's not. Delete those dark tiles after we're done. And then figure out... I should actually see, like, how many of these you put on top of each other and, you know, like how many shades of overlap show, and then maybe we can do different depths. So let's just take this piece right here and put like 3 down. No, it's the same, so I mean 2 or anything more is going to look exactly the same. Yeah, that's going to be tedious as hell. But I'm thinking all the inside tiles that aren't directly hugging the wall of the reservoir here will double up on that water to make it appear deeper. That's crazy. Look at that. From this angle, something's at the wrong height. Because look at that. That looks like complete coverage, and then you turn it, and you're like, oh no, most of it's not even there. Okay. Alright, so we'll just check every single angle before we put the ooze away. And delete all these doubles. Well, actually not all of them, because I do want to fill in the middle, so I don't want to redo those. Okay, let's rotate again. And then look at all these that just don't, for whatever reason, appear from the other side. I wish I could understand why it's like that in fixed 90-degree angle isometric games like this, but I can't, because I don't know. I know very little about game design. Especially game design from 99, 2002. Lost another tree. Okay, and we need our corner piece. Right in that corner. There we go. Alright. Looking good. To the next angle, and then look at all of these that we could not see. Yeah, that is so weird that they just appear so differently from a different angle. If anybody would like to explain why that happens to me, I would be more than happy to read it in the comments and learn a little bit more about the inner workings of this game. We'll do the best we can because I can't see anything past there. But I know I got What? No, now, because now we're accidentally building water where we don't want it. Or ooze, I mean. Not water, it's ooze. Yeah. So we do have... I think somewhere I messed up and I have... Um... Yeah, do you see that? We got two different height differences. We have some of the water at that height, and then we have that amount of water at that height. Well, I'll fix it the best I can, but I think we might end up just kind of living with that. Now I'm going to delete these doubles because they're not actually doubles. They're overlapped from the water being placed wrong. So yeah, double check everything you put down. Don't be like me and have to go and delete like 10 minutes of work because you're not putting tiles in the right spot. Okay, so all these actually need to go. Alright, I'm not trying to construct... Go away. Delete, delete, delete. Delete, 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 delete. Delete, delete, delete. We'll check the angles. And if it looks good enough, we'll honestly just move on. I don't want to... If it looks the same and fine from every angle, then... Which it doesn't, you know, but... I don't know what I'm saying. I don't want to do too much constantly deleting and redoing things. But I also want things to look proper, you know, like they should. So yeah, this whole wall is at the wrong height. We're gonna absolutely double check we're at the right height before we put this in. Okay. All right, you see how that looks a lot better, right? So judging by that, I'm gonna say we actually are gonna go and completely delete the layer that is, if you think about it, technically a layer that's, you can't really see it, but it's like floating above the other ooze with like a gap in the middle. The guests can definitely see it. They're probably extremely confused at this amazing park that can suspend ooze in the air without anything supporting it. Goodbye, ooze. All right. I'm gonna take that a little break. Thank you again for watching, and hopefully people will continue to watch even if I walk away for a few minutes. So we're gonna put Ivan Ooze Syncofant, which is this wooden coaster with loops that sync up, and then the Tower Terrace ride. We'll leave that in frame. Let those rides go. And I'm gonna step away, and I'll be back in 10. Oh, okay. All right. I am back, and we are continuing putting our ooze pools on our Ivan Ooze coaster. Now, give me just a second, and we will resume. Okay, we are back. We're fixing our ooze pool. Some more ooze, and look how much. All of that is improperly placed. So we're going to delete this entire layer. Uh, Painstakingly, I guess. Actually, I'm going to see if the bulldozer will actually work on this. And it looks like it does. Okay, so let's go maybe to like here and delete, delete, delete. We'll check our layers and then just rebuild at the proper height. So then we'll go into our ooze and we'll check our ooze. So let's see, in the middle here, we're still at the wrong height. So let's delete all of these that are wrong. Yeah, I really should have checked my height. So yeah, advice: check your ooze levels before you put everything down. Okay, no ooze there. So this should be the last little bit of the incorrect layer, and then we'll just go and check our heights and fill in the rest of the reservoir. Okay, so we're at the right height. Yep, and now we will just go 1/4 tile at a time and fill the entire thing up. So now if we did this right, when we do rotate it, we shouldn't see any doubles, and we shouldn't see any bare spots either. It should be even all the way around. So let's go do this perimeter. And then we'll fill in the middle. And yeah, the control and shift keys to make this little grid pop up, and kind of what it does is whatever you first click on and then you hold that, anything else you place on shift, it's gonna hold it to the same not axis, but Yeah, I guess maybe axis. Uh, the Z axis, I forget, X, Y, Z, and what the axes are 3D objects are, but whatever the one that its height is, basically it's locking the vertical height. Locking the vertical height along the horizontal plane. How about that? Does that make sense? Trying to click real fast and those look better. I do like that it's the ooze is the same color as the supports, and it kind of helps them blend in and not stick out so much. Because as much as I really love the supports on the wooden coasters, on a lot of the steel coasters, I think they look kind of ugly. So maybe at some point I'll do a little research and maybe follow a tutorial and figure out more how to build your own custom supports. Which again, that's a painstaking kind of a scenery piece trick on just building up a vertical height. And but if it replaces the ones that the game draws and it technically looks better, then it's worth it, Right. Whoops. Yeah, and I'm debating whether I'm actually going to go around and double up on all these because getting a little tired of this project. Cool. All right, I think that looks pretty good. That says water surface. What about waterfall curved piece? Let's look at some of these and see. This might be just exactly what we need, honestly. So it looks like they're kind of filling the reservoir. So yeah, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna change one thing. We'll get rid of the slope, and we'll extend the ooze pool. Alright, it doesn't really explain why the ooze is just coming straight out of the wall. Um, so I might mess with that. Let's see. Let's grab that again. Let's see if we can make it look like it's coming out of like that circle. I don't think we'll be able to though. I mean, that looks like it, but that could just be from this angle. Let's check the other side of the... No, it looks good on both sides. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. All right, we'll lower this a little bit more. Yeah, well, actually, just change my mind. square this whole thing off. I don't think I want the slant anymore now that I have it actually coming out of the station. And then we gotta repaint the underside of these grass tiles. There we go. Under the station. Wonderful. Okay, now we bring our water up. And then, ooze. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the bubbling. I was going for an effect of like splashing down in, but I don't think I like all the bubbling. What is that tile? That's like a frozen like water that doesn't move or what? Oh, that is cool. Okay, so that's gonna come in handy. Um, Get it facing the right way. And can we actually? Is there any way to extend this down so it looks proper? Yeah, the problem is, you see how that's in the middle of the tile and not on the edge? Um, if I could get it on the... Okay. Okay, now it looks like it's actually going down in there. And yeah, you go from the other angle and it just does not line up, so... Um, let's try it there. And there, and then let's... Boo, boo, boo. And no, it's not gonna... It's only ever gonna... This is coming out of the middle of the tile. And these little things are locked to corner segments of the tile, so that's not going to work. That one's in the middle, so that's not going to work. What about this one? Waterfall Street piece. In the middle again. Diagonal, though, which is cool, but... Actually... Anyway, that looks good. No. But let's try replacing that with that. No, because you see how it's off from the circle? I don't like that at all. So we'll continue with this, and we'll just keep looking for ways to fill the gap here. Which the best way to do it is not the fun way, and that's raising the ooze up one tile on the entire reservoir. Hopefully I won't have to actually do that. What is that? That is just one bubbling spot? That's kind of cool, but it won't line... Yeah, it won't line up. Bubbling goo, bubbling goo. Space. Okay. Oh, yeah, I gotta rack my brain on what I can do about that. Alright, let's try the regular waterfall. If we can do water behind it, maybe it'll be enough that it kind of can slightly disguise the gap. So, okay, so there's our waterfall. Can we get it to... No, because that looks really weird, doesn't it? Like it's not on the right side. Okay. and that doesn't work, like, just putting a raised ooze tile. Well, putting something in the way just to block it. Is there anything that will actually block it? What's that? That's a stranding. Okay, is there, that's in the middle. Can I sink it enough that it looks proper? No, I can't. No, I cannot. What is this one? You are a quarter tile as well. Will you work? Will you work? Will anything work? Like that. Nope. Now we're... let's see. Alright, we'll just go through the scenery again and see if there's any, like, creative option. If there was a... Oh, whoop. I have a fucking space shuttle here. Okay. Whoop. No. If there's any way to maybe make it look like a pipe or something that's, like, filling it. Maybe we can disguise the, empty spot there. So let's... I don't know if there's any... Let's look... There is a bunch of pipes. Okay. Let's see. This might be exactly what we need. The only problem is none of these are probably going to be in the middle, are they? They're all going to be quarter tiles. Oh, there is a middle one. There is a middle one. Well, I mean, we'll double check these from... that looks kind of good. Yeah, and it looks okay from the other angle. I don't like the yellow, though, so let's see about actually doing the one that doesn't have yellow. And that is in the middle? That is a middle piece, okay. There we go. I like that quite a bit. Let's check our angles here. Good from that angle, good from that angle. You can't see it from the other two angles. Cool. Alright. Alright, let's consider, building another building around, which one of the brake runs? This brake run, and we'll do another, like, ooze spilling into a pipe type thing. Because we'll probably run into the exact same problem as before. There's some ooze tiles in the wrong spot there. Okay, so let's bring some pieces over and just put them in this field so that we can just kind of select them as we need them. So we need these circular ones that the ooze comes out of. If I want to be really fancy, honestly, I could have ooze coming out of that side too, because I have all of these, I'm just going to call them port holes. I got all those portholes right there, so. Alright, so those two pieces there. Then let's grab a wall piece. And one of these kind of scaffolding pieces. Let's get a slanted roof. And one of these quarter high scaffolding pieces. And then I'm going to make some kind of just like supports underneath it. Unless I just build it up from the ground. Which, yeah, let's do that. But let's do it by, yikes. Did not mean to pull it up like that. Um, I just want this part of the ground even so that, and then we'll build the hill back up where these trees are so we don't have that weird dirt showing. Oh, okay. Which let's actually do that now before we do the building. So yeah, I'll just go up corner by corner and fix all these until it's nice. Until it's proper. Okay. And let's see. We're gonna make it these three or these six tiles. Maybe nine, but probably those six tiles will be the border of our secondary ooze factory. And this is a fucking mess over here. All right, do a quick little angle check. Yep, and we got problems here. Let's smooth that down. Angle check. And I think we are good to start building the next building. Okay. Dropper. Start with we'll start with a half high base here. Forgot what I said I was gonna. Okay, yeah, I said I was gonna do these six tiles. Okay, so we have the bottom border I supports. Next, we'll do one of these pieces. And I usually, just by default, build on the outside instead of on the inside. I find that most of the time, if I build on the inside and then I try to make it more complex, I have to strip it back away and do it. And I mean, sometimes the reverse, but usually a little bit of a safer bet to build on the outside of the tile than the inside. Okay, and then we will put in some lollies. That. And those we won't have any walls. But we can do the stucco. So I'm going to actually look up the stucco wall. And hopefully there's not a half height, but there's a quarter height. Because I just want to do a little bit of trim on these side pieces, but I can't really put up a full wall because then the riders would crash right through it. And I guess I'll have to check and see if their legs are hitting that or not. Which they don't care, but I care. I care. Alright, and I think actually we really want our porthole pieces because we want that ooze to come out. And we'll do it on all three sides. Yeah, and now I'm like really rethinking the scaffolding on the bottom layer there. I do want like that scaffolding on it, but maybe I'll do that higher up in the midsection because I need these here for the ooze to flow properly. But if I keep the scaffolding, the illusion doesn't work because you can see that there's no ooze in there and that it's fake. I want it to look real, so because this is a real situation that could happen. Sure, there's plenty of factories out there that produce a liquidy pink substance, and there could be a accident. And then you could have a real life ooze pool. So we'll steal our ooze, and then we gotta bring the pipes over too, do copies of those. So let's see. Got our ooze in. Okay, and now we're definitely gonna wanna lower the land and put ooze in and then the pipes in. So first we'll... Can we bring that? No, we should bring the land down one more so we can actually fit the... Wow, you see how it's being a little weird on me? Okay. Let's bring water up. Okay, and now I'm seeing all these little double placement spots that I'm going to delete. Okay. Alright, let's put some ooze in. And we will do what we did before and just make that, yeah, that spot's pretty weird looking. I'm gonna ignore it. We'll cover that dirt and make that the lavender stucco that matches really well with our coaster. Alright, and we'll go from another side, and let's make the ride invisible for a minute so we can see properly and just kind of tidy this up and make it look nice. So one thing we want to do, let's bring that down. Let's bring the water up. Let's fix the ooze. Bring that side down a little bit. That, and then I think we'll bring our pipes over. No, we don't actually need... That looks fine. It looks like it's going straight into the ooze, and I actually like that. So what can I do on the inside here? Also, that pile right there is... That's not placed correctly, so let's fix that. actually figure out which side. So that's on the inside. If we can do waterfalls on the inside, we might actually be able to make it look like there's ooze on the inside where it's coming from. Maybe we'll try to do that here because, again, it's kind of obvious that things are not right. Let's see. Waterfall, and that's full tile. Yeah. Okay. Um, I mean, it's passable. Alright, so what we're gonna do here to fix this, which that one's fine, is we have to actually put this wall on the outside. There we go. Why does that look weird? I think that's just gonna end up looking weird. I don't even see which one is making. Okay, so that. Well, we'll play around a little bit and see if we can make this work. Okay. Maybe just make sure I'm actually on the inside of all these tiles. There we go. Okay, so that's fixed. Cool. All right, let's build the rest of it, and maybe we can do these scaffolding, but maybe not because that's yeah, that's exactly the path that the train's going through. But maybe next to it we can do a scaffolding. Maybe here. I don't know. The heights are a little weird. Let's leave those open for now, and let's do the quarter high scaffolding on top. Yeah, make sure I'm lined up right. Okay. Check. That looks good. And then what else do we have? We have all these pieces. Let's do another round of this. From above. Alright, I think that is proper. And man, it can be hard to like see through all this because there's a lot going on here now. Alright, and then we will do any other pieces I can borrow from here. Wonder if we can fit a gear in. Or where some gears would look good. Probably not though. We have a oh, there's small gears. I mean, I'd like my gear to look like it's actually doing something. I think we might scrap that. And I'm getting a little worried that I'm building up into the... Let's watch it for just a minute and see what it looks like going through. Okay, we're coming down through. We're clipping. We are clipping bad right there. So we're going to go straight into the roof instead. I really hope I don't have to abandon this entire thing. I mean, hopefully we can just roof. Oh. I'm just thinking about a way to make it look just maybe a little less like a plain rectangle block. Do we want to try to give the illusion that like the whole thing is full of running ooze? If so, maybe we can take the waterfall and just fill in as much of the inside with this goo as we can. Goo up there. Not goo, I mean ooze. Put some ooze even there. Ooze down there. Is there any way to actually... Wants to be on the outside. Okay. Waterfall. And there is a half waterfall. Okay. Some ideas, half waterfall up there. Alright, now it looks like it's kind of raining down from the ceiling, but there's not really a explanation for why. But now the riders do get actually doused in ooze. Which is probably not good for their health, but fits in really well with the theme. So we'll just have paramedics or something. Make sure they're not, suffering from illness immediately off the ride, and then, once they're out of the park, it's whatever. They can go die at home. Okay, let's finally build the sign. And then kind of hear how I have like used some of the trim piece to do border around the path that's in the area of the coaster. I think I'll do the same thing with like this little half tile wall. And I've spotted some ooze that needs to be filled. So let's do that. It'll make that invisible. It helps a little bit, but it's still a little hard to see. Alright, and check the height. Check the height first. Okay. Good, 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 good. Just keep going. Until we get to the corner. Oh, and yeah, okay. This angle is better. Alright, there we go. We still need a railing, too. Of some kind. Maybe we'll just do the scaffolding we have here to do the railing. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna settle on that, but for right now, I think I like it. Okay. Nice. Alright, bring the ride back into view. And then we're not going to put fence around here because we want this to look like not intentional. Where this is very much a reservoir that is intentional. So yeah, do I have my paths going both the entrance and exit coming out of this side? Because if so, Uh, we can extend this ooze pool on both sides, and then we can use the rest of these, and then it'll really look like it's coming out. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Maybe not right away, but soon. Oh, sorry, getting tired. Ba 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 ba. Right, let's choose our colors before we put this down. And we want. If we do the violet on white, does that look like it'll show pretty well? Let's just put a couple down. And yeah, so I was thinking, it's a little painstaking and tedious, and I've only done it once, but I'll go over and show you what I did on single fan here. So this is actually, I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, I think it's 5 of these signs where I actually use a bunch of spaces and, you know, only a few letters per, and basically I don't want to be limited. I want a sign bigger than that is what I'm trying to say. So I guess first let's just see how they look. So they're clipping a little weird on the corner. I shouldn't have put all these down because these you actually have to open up the window and delete. Let's try going one higher. Yeah, so I think that's a lot better. So let's see, how many letters do we have? I-V-A-N. I-V-A-N-O-O-Z-E. So we want space for 8 letters, and let's do 2 letters per, so let's put 4 signs down. And what's an even spacing? Can we do 1, 2, 3, 4? Perfect. This is gonna look probably better than the other one we've done. Yeah, it's gonna be a little weird because I didn't. It's gonna be one shorter on this side than that side. But you know, I think the rest of it looks good enough that it's not gonna be a. It's not gonna stand out that it's uneven. I mean, to me it will. And you know, the day might come where I actually built. No, I probably can't though because I have. What the hell? Somebody snuck a building right next to me? What the hell is that? First aid room 12, 11, okay, alright. Yeah, I'm probably going to delete that because I don't want that there, and I don't know why somebody went in and put that there. Okay, so, no, we're gonna... It's very easy to get disorganized doing this, so let's open our windows and then put them in order from left and right, and then we'll start editing the text. Otherwise we'll get lost and have to keep highlighting them, and then if I accidentally delete it I'll get upset. And okay, so what's a good spacing for this? Let's do 2 spaces. I 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. V 2 spaces. So that's the IV. And I'm not on the 2 middle ones. I'm not going to do the spaces before because I'm trying to push the letters on each end so that things are in the middle. Unfortunately, the letters are going to be kind of, they have to be spaced out in a way that I can stretch it across the 4 boards. So we'll do A, 1, 2, 3, 4, and do the N. And look at that. That space is massive, so we already have to make adjustments. Okay. Let's take out the spaces after the V, and we'll put them in before. So we're actually going to have, we'll just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces before the I. Okay, that moved it over. Now we gotta get the A and the N over. Which we'll put spaces at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that looks good. And since it's not just one word, it's the, proper name of a character, we can have this space here, and then we'll spell Ooze. We'll try not putting spaces at the front first, and then if we feel like we need to add spaces in. But I think there's going to be enough on this side that we don't want the Ooze over too far. So let's try O. And how many spaces do I have between letters? Now I gotta look again. 1, 2, 3. So 4 spaces between the letters. So let's go back. We got O. 1, 2, 3, 4. And another O. Whoops. That's a 0. That's no. Okay, that space is acceptable. And now let's get the Z and the E. 2, 3, 4. E. Let's start with 4 on the end. Okay, so we're a little far off, so let's add another 2 to the end. It's kind of pushing it. Another 2 to the end. 2 more. We're going to reach a point where it's going to dislodge the placement, and then we have to go back. See? And we are 2 over that, so that's definitely our limit, which I think is 6 spaces over. Yeah, that looks pretty good, I think. Nice. I do want it kind of facing a similar direction as the other signs. So if you look at my section of the park, you can kind of see all the names from there. Oh, somebody changed my coaster name again. That's great. Alright, I'm pretty sure the server owner said that he, tracked who made those and renamed them and kicked that person and banned them, from being able to do anything, so we gotta rename. Okay, I should check everything else I have. Okay, that just got renamed X. I don't know why. So this is called Sycophant. Luckily, since my signs are all custom replaced, it's not messing those up. So it's inconvenient, but it's, I don't have to redo that because it's not mirroring the text of the ride. And this better be called Tower Terrace and not... What's it called? It is called Tower Terrace. Okay, so all my rides are properly named, and I mean, luckily they didn't mess with track pieces, and because people will come in and just they'll rig your coaster in a way that it'll crash constantly, and it's not always easy to figure out what they did. Because sometimes it's as stupid as they go into the kind of cheats column here, tile inspector, and what you can. I mean, I guess I shouldn't really train people how to do this, but you know, basically you can move stuff, the order of stuff, or slightly change the height where it doesn't look like it's off, but then the piece doesn't fit, and the coaster keeps crashing. And I'm guessing what the intention of the trolls is that you'll give up and delete it, and then they win. But I don't know. I don't know what kind of loser is hassling the 20 people that still play a game from 24 years ago online, but they're out there. Okay, let's clean up our mess a little bit. Yeah, the backside of this just feels so incredibly plain. I might think of something. Oh my god. Sorry, my cat tried to jump on something and just crashed it. You okay? Reggie, you're okay, right? You just made a bad decision. Alright, just a second. I just gotta clear the thing he was trying to jump on so that he doesn't fall again. You wanna come back up? Yeah, come here. Oh, come here, buddy. You okay? You okay? Okay. Alright. Alright. Yeah, he wanted to go on a little storage bin type thing I have next to my computer. And it had some papers and stuff on it, and he slipped and fell on the ground because he's a clumsy old cat is what he is. Okay, let's put a couple of these on the outside. I mean, not like a big improvement, but at least it gives a little, looks a little less plain. There, rotate. Alright, how else can we just generally jazz up the ride a little bit more? I mean, now that I have the trees and it's got water and another building, I should really close it and retest it because the scenery pieces and certain other things add to the excitement. There's videos of, you know, exactly how it's calculated. I don't really know everything. Man, these pieces look like they are conflicting, but they're not. I think it just looks close. I think it's fine. Look at these people. They're just having the time of their lives. How many people are... There are 30 people riding it. It's very popular. It was built 22 years ago. So the server, I mean, the servers run 24/7 in the game, you know. I forget how long, but a year is maybe like a 50 minutes or something like that, so you know, just to give you an idea. This is my first coaster. I built this 5 days ago, I think. And we're at year 111. So I'm gonna say this ride is like 80 years old or something. Let's look. It says 22 years ago. Okay, why do they all say 22 years ago? Because that's totally not right. Yeah, I don't know. It's not calculating it right. They all say 22 years. And I mean, I built these on separate days. They would have been different years, so. Something's not working right with the game. Alright. Alright, let's look at... What is that? Let's get rid of that. Ivan Ooze. It could stand out a little better. But I also don't think I want to redo it. There's these little lines. Let's look and see without this. And it's gonna, of course, it's gonna start deleting the wall behind it. Let's get rid of these scaffolding pieces, and then the sign should be more legible. Yeah. And then we'll just put a few of them back in. So first we gotta fix the wall. And then we'll put in... Which piece do I even have? I do have the scaffolding piece. Okay, let's try to get on this plane. No, we can't do that because it's going to show it. And is it going to show a weird... Yeah, so we're not going to have any on that side, actually. Yeah. Kind of a bummer because it does look a little uneven, but I think I have to let it go. There we go. Okay. And should we have a little, like, maybe you gotta have a little ooze on you when you get back to the station, too. We can do that. Like that. Yeah. Then, well, like... I don't want it to look stupid. But I do like the idea that, like... they're gonna get, like, oozed. I'm gonna check the angle, because that looks completely wrong. And it's completely wrong. Oh my god, don't delete the pieces behind it. You stupid fucking game. Jesus. Okay, yeah, I should have done it from the angle like this initially because I wasn't lined up right, and now I think I am lined up right. Oh, okay. That one right there. I probably don't actually want these, do I? Look at that. Do you see how it's like glitching out the... So it's really kind of a random draw of when I click which one it's going to delete because it's just... It doesn't know which one it's selecting. Okay. So... You know, you learn so much about this game by just trying stuff. Yeah, I like that because that's more on the inside. Okay. And right here. Now got just a little bit more ooze. And then we have an accidental one. Don't delete the wall. Okay. And we got to rebuild our wall here. And we lost our gear? Or did we not have gears on this side? Can't quite remember. The gear... Oh, the gear's up there turning that. And that gear is turning that one. We did lose a gear. Okay. So let's go in from this angle, match the height, and get the gear back. Okay. Wow, you can't see the waterfall at all from that angle. Doesn't even look like it's there. I mean, it's a cool idea, but if it's not gonna If it's not going to show properly, I don't know if I want it. Alright, that looks kind of... That scaffolding definitely helps. Yeah, I wonder why you can't see it at all from that angle. That is super, super weird. Random waterfall right there. Okay. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Ah, we just messed up our exit path, didn't we? Alright, invisible ride, invisible scenery. Yep. Alright, bring it all back. And what time is it? Almost 10:30. Been going about 3 hours, so I think we'll probably conclude soon. Delete that first aid station again. Which, I mean, if we were doing, like, scenario play, where the park rating mattered and stuff, like, that would be a good move. To make sure you had first aid stations, because then people don't get sick, and then you don't have to have as many groundskeepers and stuff. But, I mean, we're kind of basically playing an open sandbox with, things like guess and ignore intensities. I brought it down under 10 just because I like to be... I don't like to cheat the game with the ride design intensities, and I try to build things that people actually ride and not just trick them to ride it, but I don't run the server, so I'm not going to mess with turning a lot of stuff on and off. But yeah, littering and vandalism and stuff's off, so I would assume if littering is off, they also don't get sick. Because I really don't see... I haven't seen any vomit on the paths. So, I mean, if they were vomiting, there would be a bunch of them here because the ride is still pretty intense. So, plenty of people are going to help themselves to a little bit of an upchuck. Kind of debating putting another sign over here that says I have an Ooze. But it's not super important here. Let's see. So if I extend the Ooze all the way around the station, but leave the front part so they can still get in and out, I think that'll look pretty good. I would like to find something, probably quarter high length to fill in this gap, because that's a huge gap for the opening. So let's actually go here and just look at the options for pieces. Let's see what anything particularly jumps out. It's a good option. Yeah, I mean, probably just some kind of arch. Hopefully that we can just repaint to the proper. So let's go all, and we'll just look up arch. Which, I mean, we'll put that down because maybe we'll just do that. But if we can find something, what is that? That looks kind of good. It's a little thick though. I might change that. What's that? That's a quarter tile door? Okay, interesting. These little ramps are cute. Oh, I'll totally put some of these in. Alright, so we have kind of a thing. Nope, go away. Alright, now do I want to do something silly, like put a little plant in or something? Because I do like my little plants. What is that? That's... Oh, bastard. Oh, I can't even tell. Where is that? That's on the... Ooh, that's a diagonal planter. I like diagonal planters. Um... Okay, I'm gonna see how the planter fits into this gap, because I might just... Yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Build that path tile. I wonder if I can do this little slant tile on the water side now. That'll work. Like kind of, I don't know. Play around with it. Like that, maybe? See, I don't want it to show over the water at all, because then it's gonna... But if there's a way to make it gradually going into the water and actually look good. No, there's a weird part where it clips, and that does not look good. Try one lower, and then we'll abandon this idea. I mean, way like that, but if it doesn't look even with the... No, as nice as that would be, I don't think it's going to look good. So let's not do it. But we're going to extend our ooze pool to go around the sides of the station. And please don't delete all the wrong stuff. Just delete the right stuff. Let's go 2 down. 2 down. 2 down. 2 down. 2 down. Yeah, and then we can make all of these spill holes, basically, like we did before. So now we gotta recolor that the base so it looks properly, and we want to match it with we have red above it. Just go 2 tiles at a time. Nice and safe. And since this is not the spillage pool and it is the intentional pool, let's we gotta do grass on top though. Let's just do 1 tile at a time. Okay. Any of the ones that'll show through to the other side. Okay, we're gonna make shit invisible. And we'll just that. Great. Okay, and I mean, while we're here, let's start dealing with this side as well. Two down, all the way to the front, and we'll leave the little front lip. Go to 1 tile, retile anything that's going to show. That's not going to look good because that's in the water and that's going to look weird. So let's go back. Son of a bitch. Red with lavender. Repaint. Okay. Boom. Boom. Okay. And now let's bring our water up to the proper height. I don't know why this is being such a pain in the ass. But it is. It's just kind of like snapping to weird sides and not actually. Oh my god. Raising property. Alright, let's make this stuff invisible again so we can see. Okay. Alright, okay. Not two, just one high. One high, one high. One high, one high, one high. Okay. And then color the wall. That'll show. Like we accidentally colored that. We need that back to red. Stucco. Let's get our last two sides. Check all the way around. Okay. Well, at least now that I know what I'm doing, this is going a lot faster than initially. Okay, we don't want to see through scenery, but let's put see-through rides back. Delete our fencing here. Bring back the ooze, and let's ooze our way through. Making real careful, real sure that we are not at the wrong height again. Would rather not have to go and delete it all and restart, you know. Well, let's see through our scenery again. See, that's the problem, is we want to see through those supports, but what we're putting down is scenery, so then we can't see what we're putting down, so let's just play with the angles. There we go. Just, you know, rotate until you can actually see what's going on. Usually can fix your problem. And gotta remember there's a part of it we can't actually see from this angle, but maybe we can just go in and manually do it this way. Yeah, double water, delete that. And yeah, not quite, can't quite see, but let's just try to... Yeah, I can kind of like peek through the windows and see it, but not really. Okay. No, okay, I'm just creating double and I gotta be careful. Alright, while we are here and we have a good perspective, let's fill in the rest of the fence, the front part. Do a little angle check. Okay, that looks good from all sides. We do, of course, still have to do the pipe and the ooze rush, I guess I'll call it. But let's complete the base ooze before we do that. Double. We're gonna be having dreams about ooze tonight, probably. Whether it's actually related to Roller Coaster Tycoon, I don't know. It might just ooze might just appear and a different setting. Just fine, you know. It's purple ooze is kind of a fun thing, so it shows up in your dreams. It's probably gonna be some kind of an adventure, you know. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, let's get. Oh, that's not the right piece. Let's get our support structure fence, and we'll build that. Not three, just two. Just two. Okay. Really wanted to put three there. Cross. Nice. Okay. Hmm. Right. Well, hopefully we can line all these up properly. I don't think it should be too hard because being in the middle. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Use the control key and stay at our same base height. Go all the way around. Let's copy a pipe. Put our pipe down, middle of the tile. I should see what the height is. Okay. Keep the same height. There we go. There we go. Oh, one more. Get our height right, and there you go. More. Yep, that's right. And we'll beat this one. Go up. Grab our pipe. Alright, we'll match the height. Well, we might have to just match the height ourselves here. Okay. I think that's correct. Yep. Yeah, that looks awesome. Yeah, there was one here, two that we couldn't see. Okay. Now let's put the. I think it's easier to have this in first and then match the pipe with the bottom of the spout. Go pipe. Let's see. Down two. Yeah, looks good. Okay, and then down two. Yeah, looks like that. And I guess the idea in my mind is that these pipes actually, you know, somehow fill it from the bottom. And that was my workaround that I couldn't get it to actually look like proper. Alright, let's just put a pipe down and grab a water. Grab that, and I think we'll probably wrap up for the day because I'm getting tired. Alright, we got a lot on this side. And those are not lined up right, are they? Man, I can't even see that. Bell curve. Alright, went back to the right way. That's the height we want. Okay. And get our pipes in. There. And right there. And another pipe there. And another pipe there. Okay. Alright, I was going to retest the excitement of the ride and see if it got higher. Because this was all tested before even the station was built, so we'll close it. We'll run a new test. And we'll see what results we get. Trying to think of other things I can, like, put in to go with the theming. Like, maybe, like, some purple barrels. Still not really sure if I want to keep all of this as grass and actually keep these trees, or if I want to go with a different ground type. And maybe make the whole thing look like more of a factory the entire ride. But also that's an incredible amount of work, so. For now, let's just, we'll just watch it and enjoy the coaster. If you didn't watch the other ones, you might not have seen a run start to finish of the ride yet, so, you know, there you get a little bit doused with the ooze. Yeah, we come around here. I do like how these helixes and wide banked swings, kind of how they look. So around here into our final loop, and there was originally more inline twists, and this was a double loop, but I just could not get the intensity down to what I consider acceptable, so I abandoned it and went down from 9 inversions to 6. I also had a lot of trouble getting up to speed through this loop, so you can't really see it, but there's a hidden booster right there, so I'm kind of cheating. But, you know, if you can hide it, it's not too bad. So, okay, not a huge improvement. We were like 8.3, but we're 8.12, so it did add a tenth. Yeah. I mean, you build all that. I guess the game doesn't know how to recognize it because it doesn't normally allow a whole lot of scenery stacking and tricks, so. Yep. See, we're at 10:45. Started at 7:30, so that was 3 hours and 15 minutes. I think that's long enough. So let's see. Yeah, maybe again tomorrow night. I'll just date the video now. It's April 8th, 2026. So probably tomorrow sometime. You know, 7, 8, 9 o'clock. Do a couple more hours. I think instead of building like a fourth coaster, I'm gonna fill in some of this stuff where we'll take like the I mean, I'll just give you a quick little demonstration. You know, let's say we'll take the caramel apple stand and we'll just, you know, we'll build shit around it. We'll make it look nice and give it a sign, and you know, we might do a full this gap between the railroad and the Tower Terrace ride could be a cool spot to have kind of like a big food court type building that'll also draw in guests from other parts of the park, but you know. And there are just shy of 5,000 people in the park right now. So yeah, just as a reminder, if you didn't see in the other one, this is on a free-for-all server with a lot of people access. So, I mean, just to give you perspective, this area, this ride right here is not Somebody else put that down. Um, I mean, fair. They can put a ride wherever they want. When it was put down, it was a little close. But there's nothing that gives me right to any certain section. So I mean, you just fill in what you can. So I probably won't expand too much further, and I do want to keep all my stuff in the same area. So we'll focus on doing smaller stuff next time, and just filling out the general area. But let's get a little perspective. Um, so this is how big the entire map is. So judging by that, I mean, I am probably one of the more prominent uh, players that I got a lot built here, and I mean, certain things do stand out pretty well, like the tower and the giant cross, of course, really stands out in the big map. But let's take a few minutes closing, and let's just kind of look at some of the other stuff on the map, and then you guys can just kind of get an idea of what other people build, what's possible. It'll give me some ideas. Like, yeah, this factory thing with the monorail around it, that's really cool. And they used Ferris wheel as like big gears, actually, which is a pretty cool use of it that I haven't really seen before. Almost like this is some kind of maybe hydroelectric plant or something like that. If they put some kind of like waterfall rushing in, like it was actually, which now I'm getting. Yeah, I mean that's how the inspiration for these builds kind of work. Yeah, at least for me it does. You look around and I see that, so now I'm thinking like, do I want to do something similar, but make it look like a full-on like hydroelectric power plant? This thing does not have a name, huh? It's just Monorail 1. Okay. Well, hopefully a name gets put on it and it doesn't get deleted. Another cool thing, don't actually take people's stuff apart because that's a real jerk move. But, you can take any piece and just like, okay, well, what? Huh, okay, so that, and you got to get an idea of the parts they used to build it, and that's one thing I do is I try to recreate roughly a little bit what I've seen other players do, but I don't want to exactly copy. So I'll do some kind of, modification on it. All right, let's keep just going around the perimeter and see what we got here. So we saw this last time. That's a big station for a monorail that actually goes underground and does a good amount of. I didn't follow the entire thing and see. This building is cool. This looks like a restaurant or something. Um, yep. So there's a burger and a drink stall. So that's a good example of how you take something that normally in the game is kind of plain and you can really make it. In some ways, this is kind of with the grid based and everything. It's a bit of kind of like Minecrafty kind of build stuff, but years before Minecraft came out, which I think came out in like 2010, 2011, and yeah, this game is from 2002. Yeah, cool mine train coaster here. And it's just called Z, which might not be the proper name, because, yeah, some vandals came in and renamed everything. To just... Looks like somebody, a bunch of letters, but before that it was just, not that... I mean, it is a kid's game. Almost everybody that plays is in our 30s, but, you don't really just... We need to spend time coming up with the names and themes, and to rename it just like, the fuck coaster is kind of a jerk move. It's funny for a second, but it's... Oh yeah, this is the big mall. This is really impressive. Yeah, with all the cars in the parking lot and the. I do really like this little entrance of the mall here too. Oh, we got some kind of beat. The hurricane. All right. I think that's actually a recreation of a real life coaster. It actually exists at some park. Fishy Fingers Restaurant. Let's look inside the mall. Let's see what actual stands are like hidden in here. This is laid out really nicely. Look at all that. And they even got all these tables and everything for them to sit at. They built all that even though you don't, whoops. You don't see a whole lot of it, but yeah, it looks fantastic. Alright, let's keep going. Let's just see here. Is this the, somebody built a In-N-Out? Yep. It's a California chain. We just recently got a few, I think, here in Oregon, which is where I live. But I haven't been to one. You know, there's a lot of people that really love it, but most people say, like, you know, they're famous and the branding and a California thing, but it's not often worth waiting upwards to like an hour in line. I guess they can. Their drive-throughs get insane anyway. Yeah, lots of little rides here. This Hyper Twister is nice. Look at this drop. That is pretty unique. This thing is called Viper. Cool. There's a Viper at, I don't know if it's still there. I haven't lived there for over a decade, but Six Flags Great America outside of Chicago. Oh my God! Did you see that? We just had a crash of Ghost Train 1. Let's go check it out. Locate on main. That was right here. Wow. What a disaster. It and not open though, so I mean nobody died, so it's okay. Like I said earlier, you know, the guests are gonna die. We'd rather they die at home than we don't have a a lawsuit at the park. Yeah. So just continue looking through some of this, and I kind of lost the angle we are at. Okay, we're here and working our way over because there's the mall. Yeah, all right. We have this kind of futuristic stuff and everything over here. Oh, we don't need that ghost train thing up anymore, but it might crash again. A couple of little rides. Oh, we'll just look in. Anything that's not themed yet, or that has a really cool layout. These are cute little structures, and there's some glass on the sides of some of them, but not all of them. Oh, a boomerang type thing. It's called Whirlwind. Not sure what this is. It's supposed to be like a big silo or something. Pretty cool. Alright, now working our way to this corner. I like that station. That is slick. Like it's simple. It looks really good. The theming, the coloring is perfect with the coaster. Having the angles be different from the two different roofs and having the whole entrance be kind of jutting out from the... Yeah, and they did the landscaping with these. Whose ride is this? I want to look. MSG. Okay, MSG is like a way top professional player that does a lot of custom stuff. So, not surprised to see that from MSG. It's fantastic. I'm gonna guess this is probably his too, because there's a bunch of invisible track and stuff like that. So let's take a look. That's not actually the ride because he uses coaster track to create the perimeter. I think the ride itself. Okay, yep, MSG. Yeah, kind of a really cool dirt biking type thing. Bring us to the other corner. Oh, what time is it? Almost 11. Okay, we'll look around for a few more minutes and then I will wrap this baby up. This is small, but I really like the layout is super nice. It fits in its area too. With the fencing, let's see, what does this say? Waluigi's Plaza. Okay, so he's sectioned off this whole area. I bet this is all the same player. Let's see. No name on that. What about this coaster? CJ's Group Steel Rider HMW. Okay. So yeah, HMW sectioned off his entire or her entire their entire I don't know the genders of the players. Anyway, yeah, sectioned off and has his own kind of private entrance within the park, which is really cool. And now I want to check out these other buildings because they're probably also part of... Yeah, look at this. This is fantastic. And these custom bridges are really nice too. Really, really, really nice. Okay, and then I didn't look at the... Wow, look at that. That looks so nice. See, that's something where I think you really have to kind of have a clear vision from the outset of where to put everything to make it look that nice, because that is absolutely fantastic. Who is that? Is that Umbrian? Umbrian's a cool player. I like Umbrian a lot. Okay, and then that brings us back to my first coaster. If you haven't seen it, we'll just do a quick little... let's watch this train right here. Because I am quite proud of this one. Yeah, I mean, the way it's timed, that the other one, you know, you're going up the lift hill, you have to go through the loop, the other train passes you as you're slowly climbing, and it looks absolutely crazy. Because you're seeing them, like, as they're going through the inversion, and they're pretty close. Okay. So we're going down the diagonal. First drop. And not only because I knew I was going to do a cross station, I named it Cross Purposes, because these first couple hills all cross on a diagonal. And then also Cross Purposes is the name of I think a Tony Martin era Black Sabbath album. Look at that, again, timed perfectly. That would be awesome if you were one of the people riding the ride in either car. You know, that'd be quite an experience. Yeah, and then around here into the double corkscrew, medium loop, again through the loop. And then it's kind of mountainous, kind of just basically to make the ride long enough and to just burn off a little speed because I didn't have enough speed to go through another loop that big. And then yeah, enough that we're not racing. Even that's pretty quick to go through that. I might don't normally modify layouts after they've been out this long, but and there's not really a spot. I thought about adding like a break, but I don't want to add street pieces that I don't need. So yeah, that's the station. Let's show you inside the station really quickly. So we'll go see through scenery, and then you can see where the actual station is, and then you see all the food and beverage options and the seating. And we'll bring that back. Big purple glass cross coming out, and that is the communion cafeteria. And yeah, nice, you see in the glass, and I love my planters. So this building is just full of planters. Planters up here. And then I did create just a little kind of hide the queue that is not out of there and put a sign. But now that I'm better at sign building, this was before I figured out the trick here where you're able to space them across multiple boards. I don't know where I'd put it, but I may try to put a proper big sign on the cross somewhere. And then just a tiny little garden cross at the end here. Okay, I think that is going to be it. So let's exit the game. Yeah, put myself in the middle here. We'll go a little bigger there. Okay. All right. Well, it's about the fourth one I've done. It's a lot of fun so far. Explaining and talking through what I'm doing while playing the game is actually kind of helpful for me to understand it better. So there hasn't been that many viewers or people watching live yet. But, hopefully it catches on, and it's a lot of fun. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Share it with somebody if you like it. A comment? Comments would be awesome. I love talking about the game. If you're watching this and you also build, I'd love to see your designs or anything you're proud of or any tips or tricks about scenery and building in general. Because I do like to take feedback and become a better builder and better player. So with that all said, goodbye. Thanks for watching.